Hello, so I'm here with my student Archie, and Archie's come in and he needs to change some strings on his guitar. So I thought I'd do this quick video just to show you guys how to change strings on your guitar if you have an acoustic guitar versus if you have an electric guitar. If this is the first time that you're changing strings on the guitar, then this would be a good place to start. It's actually a lot more simple than a lot of people think. So yeah, come along with us and we'll show you how to do it. One of the things to watch out for is like, when should you change your guitar strings? And the main thing is, well, first of all, if your guitar strings break, then the likelihood is that they've oxidized to a point where the other ones also need changing. So I would always recommend changing all of the strings. If you're changing one string, then I would recommend just changing all of them at the same time, right? The only exception to this is if your strings haven't been on for a long time and you've gone for some sort of crazy bend, or maybe you've not popped them on properly and only one of them has gone, then possibly I would consider just changing one of them. So if you know the rest of your strings are like new and good to go, but if you've had them on for quite a while and one of them breaks, I would totally recommend just changing all of them. They come in packs of 6. Change all 6. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Right, so Archie's got himself a Telecaster. He was recently playing a gig and the B string went. Okay, it's usually one of the thinner ones. I've had the thicker ones go a couple of times. Okay, but the first thing that you're going to want to do, okay, is to take off the strings. And to take off the strings, firstly, you're going to want to release some tension. You're going to basically want to unwind some of these strings. You don't want to take off like all the pressure, but essentially you want to get it enough so that when we cut these strings off, right, they're not gonna ping back at you. Having a pair of pliers is gonna make it a lot easier, especially taking it out through the bridge, as when you coil the strings over here, they will naturally retain that coiled shape. So then trying to remove it through the body, through the slots here, can be a little bit difficult. You know, you don't want to yank something out by accident, okay? So it's best to cut the strings off.
How come you're changing them? Are they just old?
Yeah. So, do you know how to take these strings out now?
You like go through there and then you take them out through the back.
Through the back, yeah, absolutely. And then, yeah, there we go. So you can take them out from the back. For the headstock, once the strings are cut off, essentially you're just going to unwind them here, like that. And that's a lot faster than twisting the tuning pegs. You're just going to do that for all of the strings. Get them all removed, put them in the bin. There we go. And it's important to also remember that you can also take this time to clean under where the strings would be. Now what you're going to do, you're going to take your pack of strings. Archie has these super slinky Ernie balls. Just go ahead, open the pack up. You'll see that usually, right, they are packed in order. Sometimes they're packed by color of the string. It doesn't really matter which one you start with, okay? I like to start with the thickest one first, okay? And essentially, you're going to do this thick E string, okay? So you can follow along if you want to do it in the same order, but honestly, it's just up to you, okay?
There you go.
So you'll see, this is like a makeup tutorial now. You'll see on the one end, you'll see on one end of the string, you've got a ball, okay? So you essentially want to thread the part without the ball. Hold on, makeup tutorial. The part without the ball, okay, through where your thick E string will go, okay? So here we go. This is going to be the thick E string. So it goes in one end. The tool that really helps with this, okay, is a string winder. This only costs a few pounds if you get it on Amazon, okay? I've got this Dunlop string winder and I've always had the same one. It's always done a really good job. And then you're going to thread it through, okay? Make sure you have all of the string all the way through, okay? And then you go and place it on the nut, okay? Now, you need to give the string a little bit of slack, okay? It's a little bit of guesswork knowing how much slack to give it, okay? But I like to use this method of first E string, you're going to give it the first fret's worth of slack, okay? So this is how much slack is on. And now at this point, I'm holding the string in place, okay? So once again, just so you see it again, okay? The string is completely tight, okay? It's in on the nut, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it from the nut, okay, to the first fret and give it this much slack, okay? At this point, I'm going to take my string winder. You don't need to do this with a string winder. If you don't have it and you urgently need to change your strings, okay, then you can do it without a string winder and you can just tighten them back by hand, okay? But if you know that in the upcoming days you're going to change your strings for the first time, I definitely recommend investing in one of these, okay? And then it makes your job faster the first time you change your strings and the 100th time you change your strings, okay? So go ahead and then start winding. Make sure you don't release the string here because you just want the tension, okay, between your thumb and the tuning peg to stay consistent, okay? Once it gets to this point, once the string wraps around, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that the end of the string goes over the top of this string that you're holding, okay? So that it winds over the top. You can see that naturally the string wants to go underneath, okay? So I'm just going to guide it and make sure that the string goes over the top of the actual string. At this point, okay, you can let go of the tension. Once it's gone over itself, it's definitely locked in place, okay? So at this point you can release, okay? And I'm just holding my finger here just to make sure that every single time I turn it, okay, the string that I'm winding is going below the string that's already on the tuning peg, okay? So here we go. We've got about 1 3/4 turns worth of string here on the tuning peg. Can I bring this up closer? Okay. There's not too much string here on the tuning peg, okay? And the string is locked in place, okay? So at this point, we're getting a note. There's enough tension on the string, and all I'm going to do is cut off the end of this string. It's not going to slip away anywhere. And at this point, we repeat that for all of the strings. So this is the next one, okay? I'm going to thread this one through also and just show you how I work around giving it slack. So I'm going to thread the tip end through the next hole, okay? I'm going to align the tuning peg. There's a hole in the tuning peg, okay? So that when I thread the string through, I'm not warping the string at any point, okay? So I thread the string through, there it is, it's going straight through the tuning peg, and make sure that the string is all the way through, okay, through the bridge, right? It's locked in place, and now for this next string, because the next string is thinner, it's not going to need as much slack. Instead of doing the distance of the first fret, what we're going to do is we're going to give it the distance of the second fret. So I'm going to grab it here and pull it down. At this point, I hold it in place and start tightening. Once it gets to this point, I make sure that the string goes over the top. Okay, here we go. The string's going over the top. I'm winding it in place. And now at this point, the string's locked in place. So I can move to this grip just to make sure that I'm feeding the string under the string that's winding on the tuning peg.